Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In this advanced Fire Mage guide, I'll explain everything you need to know to get the maximum amount of damage out of your Fire Mage. Because this is an advanced guide, I'm not going to go into too much detail when it comes down to legendaries, stat priority and talents. If you haven't seen my basic guide yet, make sure to check that one out first. The link should be popping up right now. Let's talk about tier 21 and the heavy crit build. Fire only becomes really good in Antorus if you get above the 60% crit rating, while at the same time still having above 20% haste and 20% mastery. You need the right business slot tier pieces and of course the right legendaries. You can't play Fire without the Bracer Shard or Bracer Belt combination. Also, having Arcano Crystal is almost mandatory, so get ready to farm some more Veiled Argonite. I'm still grinding out that Argonite for this stupid trinket that will probably remain best in slot for the entire expansion. My previous Fire Mage guide was a basic guide for everyone that wanted to get familiar with the Fire Mage. However, for this advanced guide of playing, you guys will need quite some gear. I'm a Mythic Raider and I'm nowhere near reaching the ideal stats for this insane crit build. Eventually, as time passes, it will get easier to reach these insane stats. So why do we need that much crit? Well, first up, the tier 21 set makes all our damage during combustion very important, so we want to use our 2 Rune of Powers during our combustion to do the maximum amount of damage. The problem with using our 2 Rune of Powers during combustion is that outside of combustion we will have nothing that boosts the damage of our Hardcasting Pyroblast. The solution for this problem is pretty simple. We get as much crit as we possibly can, so that even without Rune of Power, our Hardcasting Pyroblasts will be a guaranteed crit on the target. Almost guaranteed crit. RNG baby! Let's take a quick look at the talents. When taking a look at the talents, the only 2 tiers that are going to impact your opener and rotation are the tier 15 and tier 40 talents. Going over the first tier, Conflagration is for Mythic Plus, for raid encounters, Pyromaniac and Firestarter are your 2 choices. Okay, so Pyromaniac should be better with the tier 21 set in theory, but it's a tricky talent to play with if you are used to the Firestarter talent like I am. Chances are you will waste a lot of possible instant pyro procs. This requires some getting used to because you will have to slow down your playstyle a bit. Firestarter is still a solid choice, giving us that free mini combustion during the first 10% of a boss fight. This is ideal to fish for those bracer procs. Tier 40 is pretty straightforward. On bosses where you don't have to move constantly, play with Rune of Power, as this will do the most damage. Encounter Slow can still see play if you have to move way too much. When looking at the opener, we have 2 totally different ones. We have the Pyromaniac Rune of Power combination or Firestarter Rune of Power combination. If we do pick Encounter Slow instead of Rune of Power, the rotation will remain the same, obviously. Small note though, on bosses like Hazabel, High Command and Aeonar, you can use Flame Patch or Living Bomb. Okay guys, so in this part of the video, as always, I will talk and play at the same time, and I will show you the rotation for the advanced guide of the Fire Mage for Antorus. So unlike in the basic guide where we didn't have an insane amount of crit, because I know it's hard to reach and you need a really good gear to get like 60% plus crit, between 20 and even 30% haste, 20 and 30% mastery, and a reasonable amount of versatility. It's really hard to reach those stats, so that's why I didn't mention it in the basic guide. Basically we play with like Firestarter Rune of Power or Pyromaniac Rune of Power. The difference between Firestarter and Pyromaniac is Firestarter, your Fireball and Pyroblast spells always deal a crit damage when the target is above 90% health. So this is when people say like it acts like a mini combustion. You can fish for Bracer procs for the first like 10% of the boss's health, and then go into Rune of Power combustion with a Hardcasting Pyro and just do as much damage as you can, because doing that Hardcasting Pyro during combustion and Rune of Power window is what gives us the most damage. And that's why people like Firestarter over Pyromaniac, because Pyromaniac, you like Conflagration, on the opener you use Rune of Power, you use combustion. If you don't get any Bracer procs during that window, it's gonna do a little bit less damage. And Pyromaniac, more often than not, I waste procs because I just play too fast, because I've been stuck with playing with Firestarter in Tomb of Sagaris. So let's see the main difference. The main difference here is for your opener you take a pre-pot, and then you precast a Fireball, you redirectly use another Fireball, and then it's Fireball, Pyroblast, Fireball, Instant Pyro, Fireball, Instant Pyro, up until the boss reaches like 91%. Right, you can see I got a bracer proc. This is ideal, so use your bracer proc. And you go into the normal rotation of the cast sequence of getting as many instant pyros, followed by your second rune. Another. There you go. And right now, hopefully I get a bracer proc so I can show you guys why we have so much crit. Because the reason why we have so much crit is that we also want to do a lot of damage outside of combustion and not only for like that 20-second period. Okay, right now we got a bracer proc, and hopefully because we have so much crit, we crit on the target. So as you can see right now, we did like a 5 million crit with Pyroblast, with a hardcasting Pyroblast outside of combustion. And that is the whole idea behind having so much crit, is that we want to be able to make that hardcasting Pyro be a guaranteed crit on target, or almost a guaranteed crit on the target. So that you don't have like the awkward moment where you are hardcasting your Pyro for like 3.5 seconds and you just see it like hit for like 2 million. Because that's really bad, and it gives you like this feeling like, okay, I wasted damage for hardcasting a Pyro and it didn't really crit on the target. Okay, so going over the Pyromaniac build, which is basically the same as the configuration one, but you will have the chance of your casting Pyroblast or Flame Strike while a hot streak is active, has a 8% chance to instantly activate hot streak. So the problem with Pyromaniac is that you can't play as fast as with Firestarter, and you will waste some procs if you do play as fast. So let's see. The rotation is pretty straightforward, as it's the same as with configuration. You just take a pre-pot, precast Fireball, getting heating up proc, go into combustion. As you can see right now, I got a heating up proc. Use your hardcasting Pyro, as it is always has priority. There you go. Second rune. So as you guys know, like this spec is pure RNG. If you get bracer procs during combustion, it's really nice. But also if you get a lot of, because as you can see right now, my bracer proc didn't crit. My bracer proc didn't crit, and that can also happen. So having more crit will definitely help you. Okay, hopefully on like the second one we will have a crit. So there we have a crit. So that is also the reason why we want to have as much crit as possible, even like at like the 70% ranges, that will definitely happen. Like getting 70% crit will definitely happen when you get like mythic gear, when you have ideal stats. Everything is like crit mastery or crit haste. Nothing is like haste versatility or something. It's all crit haste or all crit mastery. That's it for this video. Let me know if this guide helped you out. Should you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Drop a like on the video, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you next time.